Hello and welcome to the lecture series on automobile engineering. Today we'll discuss about the wheel alignment. Wheel alignment is a part of automotive steering system. To start with, we must understand the importance of wheel alignment that basically is required for the stability and control of the vehicle. I mean to say, under all conditions of driving, the vehicle must be stable. It should not roll, the tires must not slip, it must not drag, scuff, brush against the road surface, right? So under all operating conditions, it must be stable while driving. So basically alignment is done because while moving straight ahead, wheels must be parallel. Okay, so there may be tendencies of the wheel to deviate out from their central position. Okay, so in that case we'll be discussing about the wheel alignment, how the factors are being considered in the early stages of the design of the various components of steering system and this transmission system. Okay, so to start with, the most important effect is the caster angle. Caster angle is very important. Okay, so basically we'll see what is the purpose of the caster angle. So uh, as can be seen from the sideways, we can feel that this this basically the axle is inclined as compared to the vertical position of the car. Okay, this is the front side of the car. The car is moving in this direction. Okay, so there is an inclination of this particular system. Okay, so we can say that caster is basically the forward or rearward. This may be positive or negative. So this is basically a forward or rear tilt of the steering knuckle or steering axis when viewed from the side of the vehicle. So this may be easily understood because we used to drive the motorcycles, we used to drive the bicycles. So in bicycles also we have a fork, okay, on which we just hold the handle. So that fork, you can feel that that is inclined, that is not vertical. If it is a vertical, then we may not get the directional stability. So that fork is inclined, okay, and we hold the handle and move forward. So that inclined fork enables us to move in a particular direction and provides the directional stability. So here also, in case of automotive systems, we have the steering knuckle or steering axis that is basically inclined as compared to the vertical position of the steering knuckle or axis. Okay, when this can be observed from the side views. However, may not be visible with the naked eyes because the extent is very low. So the caster is about 3 degrees from the vertical. This angle is about 3 degrees. Okay, so the main purpose of the caster angle is to provide the directional control to the vehicle. As I told you, in bicycle, if we change the caster angle from this positive position to the negative position, then it will be difficult to move the vehicle in forward direction or move the bicycle in forward direction. So basically the caster provides the directional stability to the vehicle to cause the wheels to turn to the straight ahead position, because you might be feeling while driving a car, when we turn the steering wheel, it must come back to its original position. Otherwise what we have to do, the driver has to apply the force to turn and then again has to apply the force to come back to the original position. So to avoid this, the caster helps in providing that effect. Okay, so the wheels may be turned and they will come back, or that is known as reversibility of the wheels, that is steering wheels. Okay, so it must come back to its original position. So this is also provided to take care of the offset road crown. Okay, because steering pull caused by hump in center of the road, we can see here. So in this image we can feel that what is meant by positive caster and what is a negative caster. So this is the vertical position of the car. Okay, this is the vertical position, and if the steering axis is inclined backward, this may be treated as a positive caster, and when it is inclined forward, then this may be treated as negative caster. Okay, these two have their effects as per the requirement of the car. So if we talk about the positive caster, Okay, when viewed from the side view of the vehicle, so we can see that the caster is basically helps the wheel traveling in a straight line. Okay, as in case of bicycle, this will also help to provide the directional stability. When turning, the vehicle lifts up, the resistance to the extra weight returns the wheel to the straight ahead position. Okay, so this will provide the reversibility of the steering wheel. Okay, suppose in some cases the negative caster is provided, that basically tilts the top of the steering knuckle towards the front of the vehicle, as can be seen from this yellow arrow. So wheel is easier to turn in that case. Wheel will tend to swivel and follow the imperfections in the road. So generally, this positive caster is preferred in the cars and other systems. So as I have told you that there is an effect of caster on the road crown. So as we are aware that the roads are being crowned, because due to rainy season there may be some accumulation of the water at the top surface. So this is being uh, thrown out of the road onto the sides. So there is a crown. Okay, so road crown is normal slope towards the outer edge of the road surface. Okay, so caster is kept different on both the wheels to take care of the road crown. This one is somewhat at higher height as compared to the side. So caster is different in both the wheels. Okay, so this prevents the vehicle from pulling toward the outside or lower edge of the road. Okay, it will not provide the different caster. What will happen? The vehicle will turn to move on one side only. Okay, so you might experience sometimes while driving the car that it's moving in a particular direction while leaving that steering wheel. It moves in a particular direction. That indicates that there is some problem with the wheel alignment of the vehicle. Okay, so immediately we have to refer the wheel alignment section to check the alignments properly. Okay, so right front wheel may be set with slightly positive caster than the left to take care of the road crown. So as I have told you, the maximum extent of caster is around 3 degrees. Okay, that gives a better result. So now we talk about the camber. So this effect is clearly visible in case of tractors. Okay, so we can even check the camber angle visually in case of tractors. So while viewing the vehicle from the front, so we can check that there is some inward or outward tilt of the wheel and tire assembly. Okay, so this is known as basically camber. So from the vertical position, the tire is basically inclined when viewed from the front view of the car. Okay, towards inside or outside. So when it is towards the inside, as shown in this figure, so that is a negative camber. And when it is inclined outside from the vertical position, that is known as positive camber, as shown in this figure. So this car shows that this has negative camber because the axis of the wheels are at the inner side. Okay, this is a vertical axis, this is vertical axis, and the wheels are inclined to the inner side. Okay, so this is your negative caster. When the wheels are inclined to the outer edge like this, so that will be a positive camber. So the effect of camber is to prevent the tire wear on the outer or inner tread. So it must ensure that equal wear is there. To load the larger inner wheel bearing, okay, and to aid steering by placing vehicle weight on the inner end of the spindle. Okay, so when we apply the load, this will tend to come to a straight ahead position. So that is the requirement. Okay, at all the time we expect that the tires must roll on the central or vertical axis position, so that there should not be any uneven wear. Because if it is inclined to some end like this, then there may be uneven tread wear. Tread is the tire's surface. Okay, so camber split is also provided, because camber split is basically the difference between the left and right camber settings. This may be different, as I've told you, regarding the crown of the road. So excessive camber split will cause a vehicle to pull to the most positive side. Okay, so here we can see that this is a front view of the car. So this angle is 0 degree vertical position, and minus 7.5 degree, minus 0.75, minus 0.75 degree, minus 1.5 degree, and minus 2.5 degree. Okay, in that case it is 0 degree, minus 5 degree, minus 0.5 degree, minus 1.0 degree, and minus 2.0 degree. So that is basically split. So both wheels are at different angles because to take care of the road crown. Okay. So camber split should be limited to half a degree or less to prevent vehicle pull. If we increase beyond that limit, then this will tend to move in a particular direction only. Okay, this must not be a case. So we can observe from this vehicle regarding the positive caster and negative caster, it should not exceed 2 degrees. Okay, that is maximum extent. Up to 2 degrees we can set the camber. So this positive camber in this car is being shown by the green arrow. Okay, if the tire axis is inclined outward from the vertical axis, that will be a positive camber, and inward from the vertical axis, that will be a negative camber as shown by this yellow arrow. So positive camber, in case of positive camber, what we have seen, top of the wheels tilts outward when viewed from the front of the vehicle, and in case of negative camber, top of the wheels tilts inward viewed from the front of the vehicle. So most of the automotive manufacturers recommend a slight positive camber setting out of 1 by 4 degree to half degree to compensate the weight, because when we apply the weight, that will tend to be like a at vertical position. So in up to a maximum extent, it should not exceed 2 degrees. Okay. So now we'll discuss the next parameter that is very important, that is known as toe. So basically toe is determined by the difference in the distance between the front and the rear of the left and right hand wheels. Okay. So in this image we can see that what is meant by toe. Toe is basically the twisting that has to be seen from the top of the vehicle. So when seen from the top of the vehicle, and suppose the vehicle is moving in this direction, okay, so if we mark here like point A and here point B at the end of the tire, so we can check that this distance AB, if we mark another point C and D here and we measure the distance of this CD point, so in this case we can see that in the direction of motion the distance AB is more than distance CD, so hence it is known as toe out. Condition is that we have to see the vehicle from the top. Okay, we have to climb over the vehicle and see this effect. So in case of toe in, what is happening, you can see that the front end of the tire is closer as compared to the rear end. So these are closer as compared to the rear end CD. So this is known as toe in. Okay. So basically this toe controls whether the wheels roll in the direction of travel. Okay. We'll see the effect also. Toe out wheels are farther apart at the front than the rear, as I have told you, and toe in. Okay. So if we talk about the rear wheel drive toe settings, you might have studied about the rear wheel drives in which the power is being transmitted to the rear wheels. In that case, the front wheels tend to toe out while driving. When the drive of the engine is transmitted to the rear wheels using some mechanism like propeller shaft, like using universal coupling differential unit, so the vehicles which are rear wheel drive vehicles, the front wheels tend to toe out while driving. This is the tendency of the wheels. So as the tire rolls over the road, they are pushed rearward, okay, causing the tire to turn outward. That is toe out. So to compensate this, the front wheels are said to have toe in at the front wheels by 1 by 16 inch or 1 by 4 inch within this range. Okay. So ultimate outcome is that in case of rear wheel drive, there is a tendency of the front wheels to toe out. To compensate this, we have to provide the toe in so that while driving it comes to its normal position, straight ahead position. So in case of front wheel drives where the drive is being transmitted to the front wheels itself, okay, like in Maruti cars, their driving is provided in the front end. Okay, engine and drive is provided at the front end. So in case of front wheel drive vehicles, front wheels propel the vehicle, they push forward by the engine torque, okay, because the torque is being transmitted over the front wheels. This push causes the wheels to point inward. So when we transmit the torque, there is a tendency of the vehicles or the tires to come nearer from the front side, so that causes towing. To compensate this effect, the front wheels are said to have tow out at the front wheels by approximately 1 by 16 inches. Okay, so now we'll discuss the combined effect of kingpin inclination and or steering axis inclination. So basically that KPI, as we can see here, okay, say this red mark is the vertical position of the tire, okay, and we can see that the axis of the tire is inclined, and this parameter we have defined it as the camber. Inclination is known as camber. Okay, now if we talk about the this steering axis, okay, this is the steering axis, or in older versions we used to use the kingpins, okay, to fit the wheel assembly over it, over the stub axle. So this steering axis is also inclined from the vertical position. This is not vertical. Okay, so in total we may encounter here two angles. First one is the camber angle, other is the steering axis angle. So when combined together, we may set a total angle that is known as kingpin inclination angle or steering or included angle. Okay, so angle away from the vertical formed by the inward tilt of ball joints or steering axis, kingpin or McPherson strut tube that is used in Maruti cars. Okay, this is McPherson type. Okay, McPherson. So always there is an inward tilt, not a tire wearing angle. It is not adjustable. Okay, but must replace part if it is not correct. Okay, so included angle is basically the steering axis angle inclination plus camber angle. This is known as included angle. Okay, steering axis angle is this McPherson strut type is inclined from the vertical. This is known as steering axis angle. Okay, or in older versions there was a kingpin, so this angle was known as kingpin inclination angle. Okay, so this may be set to around 7 to 8 degrees in total. As we have seen that this camber angle is maximum 2 degrees, so in total we can provide a 6 degree of this steering axis inclination angle, right? So finally we can say that the total angle or the included angle includes the steering axis inclination angle and the camber angle, right? And the extent must not increase up to or increase beyond 7 to 8 degrees. So now toe out on turns. Okay, while cornering or while taking a turn, what happens? Okay, so turning radius, that is the amount of the front wheels toe out when turning. Okay, around the turns, the inside tire must travel in a smaller distance as compared to outside tire. As we have seen here, the inner wheel has to travel less distance as compared to the outer wheel. Okay, so the toe in, toe out will be different while taking a turn. Okay, this prevents the tire scrubbing. If this difference is not created, that will make the tire to rub against the road surface and will be weared out. So it is not adjustable because this basically is built-in angle of steering arm. So this is achieved by setting a proper steering arm, okay, while designing the steering system. If incorrect, check for bent or damaged steering parts. Okay, so this may be taken care by the designer while designing the steering systems or steering mechanism. So now we'll study the effect of scrub radius basically. So scrub radius is the distance between the tread center line and the point where a projection of the steering axis angle would contact the road surface. Okay, so in that case we can see that the steering axis coincides with the vertical position and the tire axis also. So the scrub radius will be 0. But in some cases we can observe this situation. Okay, wheel offset. So in this case we can check that the tractive effort is acting upward the road resistance is acting downward, okay, and due to this effect there is some tendency of towing in, okay, there is some scrub radius. So this scrub radius is negative because the point of intersection lies above the ground. The point of intersection of axis of the steering and vertical axis of the tire lies above the road surface. So this is known as negative scrub radius. In other case, we can see the offset wheel with positive scrub radius. In this is the vertical of the tire, vertical axis of the tire, and this is steering axis inclination or steering axis line. Okay, so we can see that this is the ground surface. So these two axes are intersecting somewhat below the ground, okay, in some depth at the ground. So this causes a positive scrub radius. So what will happen? In this case, the road resistance will be acting downward. Tractive effort will be acting upward. When the torque will be transmitted, it will act to move it upward. So there is a tendency of tow out. Okay. So this must be taken care, and we must ensure that the scrub radius must come to its neutral position. So this is regarding the alignment of the car.